Yes, Arch Manning has been absolute garbage, but this Texas defense is really good. How's that going to look?
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Locked On Bulldogs, the number one spot for podcast information, sports expertise of your favorite fandom of Georgia Bulldogs. He is Daniel. I am Clint. Together, we are Locked On Bulldogs. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel, FanDuel.com. More on them in a moment. Daniel, here's what we're talking about today. We're talking Texas, great defense, Arch Manning getting better. Georgia's doomed, correct? This is just end of the train. And
it's inevitable.
Texas, it's inevitable. It's just
if there's anything I know, it's that Texas always beats Georgia when Texas plays Georgia. The math checks on good on that. Right?
I'm going to try to convince you that Steve Sarkeesian is a bad coach. Ooh. And by convince you, I'm just going to give you numbers that are, wait for it, James Franklin-esque.
Factual numbers is what you're going to give us.
That's what I'm going to try to do. We're going to talk about this matchup against the defense as well as Arch Manning and the offense. Daniel, where do you want to take the people when you look at this matchup? Our first actual preview look ahead to Texas as we get into it. Where do you want to take the people?
Well, let's start credit where credit's due. All right. We've been talking about Georgia's pronounced improvement on the offensive line, pronounced improvement in terms of running the football, outside the top 100 last year in rushing offense. Georgia much improved in that regard, 300 yards rushing in their last game. I want to go where I think this game is going to be won or lost for the Georgia Bulldogs, and that is on the offensive line. Can Georgia's offensive line make holes and pave lanes for Georgia's running game to get going against this Texas defense? Texas is a top 10 defense against the run, particularly. They are efficient, top 10 efficiency defense in terms of points per drive allowed, right up there among the premier defenses in college football. And really, to my money, the best part of that defense is the front seven. It is their ability to stop the run, to defend the run. I don't think Georgia wants to get into a situation. We love Gunnar Stockton and we love what he's been able to do, but we talked about it on the last episode. This offense for Georgia is predicated on balance. Mike Bobo has built a system in which balance is key. And so when you look at this matchup, it will be strength on strength when Georgia has the ball. Georgia's strength of their offense is their offensive line, their running backfield, their ability to generate yards on the ground, even, using Dylan Bell, using the screen game, using the, these, kind of outside runs, using Bowens and Frazier up the middle. And it'll be the strength of the Texas defense going head to head, seeing if they can make Georgia one-dimensional. Really, nobody this year has been able to make Georgia one-dimensional, including Alabama, who beat Georgia, but Georgia was able to run the ball very effectively in that game. Nobody's been able to make Georgia one-dimensional, Clint, and that's why this Georgia offense has been clicking really all year. Can Texas do that? I think that's where the game's going to be won or lost. And so curious your thoughts on that matchup in particular.
Look, here's the incredible deal about Texas's defensive front. No one in Texas wants to admit this. And it's kind of it's a curiosity to me why you don't want to admit that the best part of your team is the trench play on the defensive side of the ball. I'm confused by it. People have Anthony Hill I'm not trying to throw shade. CJ Allen is a better linebacker. I don't care about anything else. However, you guys got a pretty good one, Texas, in Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's a bona fide stud.
Stout up and down the front seven, in my opinion.
So when you, Texas fan, when you want to puff your chest, let me put it this way, Texas fan. And Georgia fan, this is where it gets a little hairy for us. And actually, it gets hairy, but also tilts in our favor. Texas fan, you want this game 17-14. That's the best case scenario for you.
Texas fan right now is screaming, take the under. Take the under. That's what Texas fan is screaming. Yeah.
You want that to be the case. Because in that case, what it shows is the run game for Georgia is not explosive. The balance is not there. We've punted a great deal. And Texas, you're in a puncher's chance, just like Alabama was.
Yeah.
Came in and the game was close and we went back and forth. But Alabama, their defense is pretty good. They didn't have run. They have pass game. Texas, you don't. And so, yes, you heard me. You don't. If I'm Texas, man, it's a formidable front. Georgia fans don't think that just because we are very prolific at run, and I'm very high on our run chances against Texas, it's not going to be 6.8 yards per carry.
It's not going to be easy to run the ball against this Texas defense.
Yeah. A slugfest, a fight in a phone booth. Come back next segment when I talk about Steve Sarkeesian and some of his record and why I think this actually does favor us. Yeah. But please throw out the idea that USC style offense, that the Vanderbilt Texas game, the back and forth, that's not what this game is going to be. I just, because of the strength of Texas's D, I think this is going to be a meticulously hard-fought battle in the trenches, Daniel. You're exactly right.
I'll tell you what's curious to me. You mentioned Texas fans' inability to admit that the defensive front is that. I don't know if that's true or not, Texas fans. If it is, I'm come to grips with reality. I'll tell you what's curious to me. Texas fans' inability to admit that the state of Texas is a deplorable hole in the United States.
Honestly,
it's a terrible place to be.
Honestly.
Just to live. To exist, it's an awful place. These are just points of fact that I'm referencing. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the outcome of the game or not. Time will tell. But Texas is awful. It's nothing but interstates and flat wasteland.
Literally a graveyard where dinosaurs deceased themselves. And
had nothing to do with the meteor. They were just like, we can't take it here anymore.
We've arrived in Texas, and they're like, nope, sorry,
I'm tapping out.
We're done.
Yeah.
You want to count yourself as the best. It's like Florida and Texas. There's a lot of commonalities between Florida and Texas.
Ooh, we're coming back. Clint's going to talk to you about the newest Tennessee Titans head coach, but first, these.
And these are, in fact, Game Time. Game Time is fantastic, Daniel. Why are they so fantastic? Because Game Time gets you in where you want to be without queues, hidden fees, or price jumping at checkout for tickets into NBA, college football, college basketball. Hello, get into the steg. Be loud. This team is churning out points. That's why Daniel and I use Game Time app that gives the advantage back to the fans. Easiest way to score last-minute tickets and best prices. No surprise fees. App made it super simple. You can see the exact view from the seat before you buy. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONCollege, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONCollege, $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today.
Steve Sarkeesian, Clint, offensive genius.
Sure.
Lane Kiffin-esque. Maybe Lane Kiffin Jr. Is that fair to call Steve Sarkeesian, Texas fans? Could we call him Lane Kiffin Jr.?
I think
he's like Lane Kiffin, only not quite as good.
Oh, yeah. Okay. A couple things really quick. Before I saw an LSU reporter. I'll call him reporter.
Oh, sure.
Talking about how in the world that college football is, you don't need motivators, persuaders, or recruiters. What you need is good tactician X and O coordinators. And then he went on to list, and I kid you not, Clark Lee, Marcus Freeman, Kirby Smart. They're better at developing, recruiting, maintaining, and getting the most juice out of their guys than anybody else. That's what makes them great.
This guy's literally trying to make a living by saying that X's and O's win games, not Jimmy's and Joe's. It's literally the opposite, the saying. That's how the saying goes. It's not, I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to do. The reason Texas and Georgia are good at football is because they have good football players on their roster.
That's it.
That's the reason. The
And
reason
he went on to say, well, money's going to speak. Okay, money will. You're right. However, you still need guys to come. Lane Kiffin said it today when he was asked what makes a good job, and he listed everything Ole Miss doesn't have. Ole Miss fan.
Oh,
now, where am I going with this?
sad.
He talked about tradition, Heisman, packed stadiums, all that. Now, where am I going with this? I'm going to one Steve Sarkeesian, who is, by every account, a fantastic X's and O tactician. Like that.
Yeah, we said that last year. We said he's elevated himself to that upper echelon of college football coaches.
That's not shade. That's not us saying it tongue in cheek. That's not us being
real.
It's real. He is exceptional. One of the top 3 guys calling offensive plays.
Yeah.
Let's just say hypothetically for a moment that head coaching isn't about dialing up awesome playbooks just for a hot minute. And if I could, let me take you to 2 statistical categories. One, I want you to hear first 2 years at Texas in 1-score games. Texas was 2-5. Close losses, Oklahoma, Kansas, Alabama. In his career, he's 9-15 in 1-score games while at Texas. 9-15. Conversely, the coach who's incredible, the coach who's great at 1-score games, Kirby Smart, the best win percentage of coaches currently, is the exact opposite of Steve Sarkeesian. Let me continue going with the statistics on why Steve Sarkeesian is not an elite head coach, but elite play caller. Again, against top 10 teams. Do you want to guess? He's played 13. 13 times.
Yeah.
You want to guess how many of those? I'm sorry. Yeah, 13 times. You want to guess how many of those times against top 10 teams he won?
How many?
2.
Oh.
He is 2-11.
2-11.
2-11.
Not 2-11. Not like
2-11.
this.
Not like this. Against Alabama in 23, Michigan in 24.
Yeah.
By the way, that Michigan team went on to finish the year 7-5.
Oh.
Okay. So a top 10 team that finished not top 10. And Alabama, who finished number 8. Okay, great. Those were it. And if you look at the rest of the time, I mean, against top 25 last year, Michigan, Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, Texas A&M, Clemson, Arizona State. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. 2004. That was your shot. You had a better team last year.
Yeah.
You had
objectively
a better team last year.
Mm-hmm.
And 2025, the only ranked top 25 win you have, top 25, top 10 is Oklahoma, number 6. Daniel, what I'm trying to tell you is in close, hard-fought games, he's not good. Against upper echelon talent, he's not good. He underperforms with a roster and a facility and a talent base that is better than what his record is producing. Steve Sarkeesian, not an elite head coach.
Yeah. Well, these are the types of situations where Texas goes to Ohio State. They are completely and totally unprepared. Arch Manning looks like he's never held a football before in that game against Ohio State. And you may say to yourself, Ohio State, good football team. That's fine. Last year, Texas plays in the SEC championship game against Georgia. Has the lead at halftime when a quarterback who hasn't played the entire season comes in for Georgia. Can't close out the game, loses.
Nope.
Hosts Georgia in what Matthew McConaughey called the biggest game in the history of the stadium.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, not like this.
Not like this, Matthew. People taking pictures with celebrities before the game. Georgia didn't want to take any pictures. They wanted to eat. Texas fumbles the bag and loses that game as well. You see this with Steve Sarkeesian. You put him up against Sam Houston State, let me tell you this, he's going to lay the smackdown.
Go for it. Stand over a man.
Yeah, that's right. Flex
Get
on
you
him
some
one time. But when you play against the upper echelon, and this just in, Texas fans, maybe we could agree on this. Oklahoma ain't the upper echelon of anything. So congratulations on a win in a rivalry game.
Genuinely, your rivalry game, you won. Good way to take care of business.
Good on you. That ain't the upper echelon. That ain't the upper crust.
Nope.
You understand? The upper crust of the SEC remains to be, and has for the foreseeable future shows no sign of letting up.
Yep.
Georgia 1, Alabama 2. These are the teams in the SEC. Texas, you don't find yourself on that list.
You don't,
because you can't beat the teams on that list.
You would say, well, we beat Alabama. Yeah, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
The one time.
Yeah,
the one time. And you couldn't do it in the playoff, and you couldn't do it against Georgia, mainly because Steve Sarkeesian is getting out-coached as a head football coach. Lane Kiffin, listen to me, is a better head coach than
you
Steve
might
Sarkeesian.
want to make an offer. LSU's making offers. Florida's making offers. You might want to make an offer.
You can upgrade. Is
God
what I'm
knows
trying
the
to tell
Tennessee
you.
Titans are making offers, so might as well get in on that.
He's leaving your program.
It's not. Here's the thing: is he may not leave, but somebody from the Athletic doesn't just report that out of nothing. There's something there.
He's talking.
Oh, he's looking. He's putting feelers out there.
You've forgotten, because it was nary a decade ago. Go look at the storied past at USC.
Oh no. Okay, so we're gonna talk about. We talked about this Texas defense.
Yeah,
we talked about this Georgia offense.
Quite good.
I want to slide a little caveat in here, because the Texas defense is really good. But how good are they really? See, these are the questions. The third segment's really where we're going to start breaking some things down, and facts will begin to emerge right after this.
And this is, in fact, FanDuel. NBA's back. No better place to get in the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. If you miss the start of a game, don't worry. FanDuel has live bets on everything. Who will score next or fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, combined live bets. Same game parlay. Bigger payout. It keeps everything exciting, especially when your team is making a late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets. First $5 bet wins. Head to FanDuel.com. Sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Daniel, you talked about this defense, this offense. Again, matchups are not created in a vacuum. You don't just get to say, well, I give this offense 5 stars, this one's 4. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. It's matchup based. It's what one particular defense does well and efficient, and one particular offense does well and efficient. Mm-hmm. And we got to get into, as the week goes on, we're going to get into the Georgia defense and why this Texas offense has a bad matchup against Georgia defense. I'm not saying that we're going to shut you out. What I'm saying is it's not the type of matchup you like. We're going to get into that. But Utah.
What if we did shut you out? Boy, that would be embarrassing. That would be because
on the worst defense that Kirby Smart has had in his tenure at Georgia.
Can I ask an honest question as we begin this third segment, Clint? Has the Georgia defense this year exceeded expectations, met expectations, or fallen short of expectations?
Daniel, I made a mask one time in high school in ceramics.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I put a side-by-side of the ceramics mask up to the picture I was supposed to take of it. And it looked like a 5-year-old child had created that.
If we could get that side-by-side for this podcast, I really feel like downloads would take off. Yeah. Listen, the Georgia defense this year has been kind of like a warm turd, if you want to just put it mildly. Okay? The Texas defense, meanwhile, public perception would say, has been sensational. Lights out. right? Top 10
Sure.
defense against the run. Top 10 scoring defense in the country. Clint only allowing 16.2 points per game.
Okay,
Top
great.
10 nationally in scoring defense. I believe that's the name of the game, isn't it, Clint?
Sure.
Yeah. So now, when you dig a little deeper and you say, well, how's that same team? How have they performed? Let's just say against SEC competition. Maybe we could take Sam Houston State out of it.
Okay,
Maybe we could take UTEP and San Jose State.
Oh,
Maybe
no.
we could.
Oh, no.
Maybe we
Guys,
could remove them from the equation.
by the way,
okay?
that San Jose State game, I remember the first quarter of that game. It was
Right.
not pretty, Texas.
Now, when you look at SEC competition,
Okay.
they gave up 6 points to Oklahoma.
Woo!
That's pretty good in a rivalry game, only giving up 6 points to Oklahoma. They only gave up 13 points to Kentucky, which, by the way, is like the most Kentucky scored all season, but that's neither here nor there.
Stoops is going to keep his job.
Stoops is going to keep his job. We don't have time to talk about that right now.
I love that so much.
Clint, what if I told you this Texas defense was allowing 24.5 points per game in SEC play? That's nearly 10 points more per game than their season average, meaning those non-conference games really pulling a lot of weight around here. 24.5 points per game in SEC play. Now, Clint, I say all that to say, do you know how many points per game the Georgia defense is allowing in SEC play? Because they gave up 41. They gave up 41 to Tennessee.
That's a lot of daggum points.
35 to Ole Miss. Do you know how many points per game the Georgia defense is allowing in SEC play?
Why don't you hit the people?
It's 23.5 points per game. It's less
Interesting
than the Texas. So what I'm telling you is that the worst defense in the Kirby Smart era at Georgia, the most underwhelming defense that we have seen in quite some time, is objectively performing better in league games than the premier Texas defense that is literally holding their team together. The unit that is single-handedly carrying them is performing worse than Georgia's worst defense in recent memory. This Texas defense, Clint, gave up 31 points to Vanderbilt. They gave up 38 points to Mississippi State. Do you remember Mississippi State, Clint? It wasn't that long ago. You remember that team, right?
You mean the quarterback that we got benched?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Okay.
They gave up 29 points to Florida in a losing effort, Clint. This Texas defense in SEC play has been, wait for it, bad more than they've been good. More often than they've been good, they've been not adequate. They've been objectively poor. Arch Manning, who's been a huge liability, has had to carry them lately because lately this Texas defense cannot pull their head out of the receptacle in which it is jammed. I'm not sure the Texas defense, Clint, isn't broken. What if the Texas defense got their jollies against San Jose State?
Ooh.
And now there ain't nothing real about it. We're talking about Vanderbilt and Mississippi State. I know this is an improved Vanderbilt team. I know Mississippi State's a scrappy team. We're talking about teams running up and down the field against Texas.
I'm talking about when you have the lead at home against Vanderbilt. Diego Pavia is a fine quarterback. Like, truly and honestly, a fine quarterback. Vanderbilt's a much improved. But when you are having to stave off Vanderbilt's furious
And they're going to be like,
rapid.
oh, that was garbage time or whatever. Were the starters in or was the third string in? Let me ask you that.
Starters were in, and
Oh,
they
the
nearly
starters
lost
were
the
in.
game. They were one play away from losing the game and being out of playoff contention before you played us at home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying things that are untrue.
No.
And
No.
yet,
Here's
you want to beat your chest of how great your defense is and how, again, you should be talking about the front seven. That's fine. But even that, you are held together by duct tape and shoestrings. Yeah. Bubble gum is adhering itself to you and your hopes because that's all you got. Arch Manning is not it. You could tell me all day long, well, he's a Manning, he's going to do this. No, he has shown me that's not the case. He has shown me that he is closer to Carson Beck than he is Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah.
Liability.
Yeah.
The run game, been fine. Okay. But the defense, in particular, the shining example, as you said, Daniel, has lost its sheen.
Yeah.
And when you get into the dog days, way back down the road, November, December, come a knocking.
Yeah.
This is where, again, better teams start accelerating, lesser teams start falling off. That's where you are, Texas.
Yeah. That's where Texas is. I mean, we're talking about Florida, who is the 43rd rated offense in America, opponent adjusted efficiency. We're talking about Mississippi State, who is the 39th rated offense in America, opponent adjusted efficiency. We're talking about Vanderbilt, who, to their credit, is the 11th rated offense, opponent adjusted efficiency. We're talking about these offenses having their way against Texas. Georgia is the number one offense in all of college football.
Yep.
In opponent adjusted efficiency.
Yep.
So are you telling me that based on your numbers, when you give up 35 to Georgia, you think you're going to score 35 against this Georgia defense? You think Texas fans, and you can let me know in the comments.
They will.
You think that your offense is going to score 35 points in Athens on Saturday night against this Georgia defense? Just say yes or no.
They will.
Because if you don't think that, you ain't got a prayer in this game, Texas.
I'm just going to go side by side. Games that were similar. Texas scores. I'm now kind of flipping over. Texas 21-29 Florida. Florida game for Georgia, a rivalry. So your version of Oklahoma, just so you fully understand. 24-20. We won. You lost. Similar scores. Kentucky 13-16. You take the W. 14-35. So against similar competition, we have stopped those teams that you for less points. Okay. Mississippi State, again, not that far distant future. Texas 45-38, 41-21. So like for like comparison, our offense is performing at the same level. Our defense is performing better.
Yeah, our offense is performing better. Our defense is also performing better.
I'm not trying to overcomplicate this. Like matchups.
There's a way that you could look at this and say, well, the Texas defense, where I started this episode, well, the Texas defense stops the run. This is a great matchup. Their defensive front's true. I think all that's true. I think the Texas defense front's really good.
It is.
What is also true is that the Texas defense in SEC play is allowing 24.5 points per game. And if you look at the recent past and you look at where Georgia stacks up against the offenses of Vanderbilt, Florida, and Mississippi State, there's no way that you can project a future in which Georgia doesn't hang 30 on Texas. And so Texas fans, you're either going to win this game 35-31 or 38-35, or you're going to get beat on Saturday night. So I guess next episode, we'll talk about this Texas offense and whether or not we think they're going to score 35 points in Athens against this Georgia defense, because last I checked, Arch Manning's playing a lot better. He's really starting to figure it out, Clint. He's figuring it out, Clint. He's got it figured out. It took him 9 games, but he has figured out how to play football, even though he played in 6 games last year.
That is true. If you haven't had snaps and you're doing so for the first, that is something I will say about our defense. You can't say that of your all-world caliber, number 1, dress up in a tuxedo to try to convince you to come to my school player.
Yeah.
He is Daniel. I am Clint. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. See you guys then.
All right. See you.